Good morning. Today is the 13th of December and day 13 of my fast. And I'm feeling pretty good. I actually got some really good sleep last night, which is super helpful. Something kind of weird though. I had too much salt yesterday. I had my regular saltwater drink, like the snake juice, and then it was cold, so I decided to make not really a broth, but just like a hot something to drink. So I put in more salt. Oops. And a little bit of cayenne pepper and garlic and dill and like a splash of sriracha sauce, just to have something hot and also kind of spicy to drink because it was cold. But that combined with my snake juice gave me too much salt. And did you know that you can gain weight not eating anything? What that did, and I don't understand the chemistry perfectly, we'll have to look it up and figure it out, but it made my body hold water. So I was drinking all this water and I was also eliminating quite a bit of water, but I was hanging on to a lot. So my weight went up 2.5 pounds yesterday just because of salt. So I'm gonna watch it a little more closely today. I'm gonna measure my salt like total, and if I do want to have another hot something like that, I'll make sure I split it up instead of like double dosing myself. So it was just really funny. Like, I haven't ingested any calories for 12 days if you want to count the first, or 13 days, but I gained weight today. So just goes to show that the scale isn't the end all of everything that you do. We had dress rehearsal for our Nutcracker yesterday, and it's a little weird because in the past when I've done this show, I've been a lot more involved. So last year I had 3 different roles I was doing, and this year, just the way it worked out, the studio has more kids that can kind of take over stuff. I'm only doing the one piece that's for adults, and it's just snowflakes, and we're on and off the stage so much that I barely even get out of breath. And yesterday when I did it, I'd been fasting for a long time, and usually, jumping and running will make me a little more out of breath while I'm fasting. I barely got puffy, and I maybe had a little bit of dampness on the top of my forehead. Like, it didn't even mess up my makeup or anything. So it was like walking up the hill to get to the theater was a lot harder than the dancing I actually did. But it's fine. That just means that my body's feeling really good, and we're burning fat like crazy, and yeah, meeting goals and stuff. So today is a nice busy day. It's kind of sad. I have to take the kitties to the vet, and they're so sweet, and they trust me so much, and I'm going to torture them. But I'll make sure they get a treat later. Myra just jumped up she's behind the camera right now. She just jumped up on the bed and walked by. And then I have a friend has someone in their family who's sick, so I'm going to take them. I signed up to take them a meal today, and going out to meet my tailor to pick up some fabric so I can do some sewing so I can get it shipped off to a customer so they can sell it at their boutique in time for Christmas. So just a nice busy day with a little bit of downtime. I have some reading I want to catch up on, and then there's a warm-up class for the show tonight at like 5:30 or something, so I'll go to that. And then, so I have been in the evenings getting really, really obsessed with food, and I think it's just tired. I think it's just that I'm working so hard to keep myself busy and not focused on food that towards the end of the day, I start kind of obsessing over. Honestly, I'm planning what I'm going to eat on the 23rd when I go to my mother-in-law's house, and she's doing a big turkey dinner. So I can eat the turkey at her house, but I don't want to eat like the sugared yams and the mashed potatoes and the fruit salad, all that sugary stuff. So I'm like already planning what I'm going to eat for breakfast that day, or what I'll eat before I go over there, and then what kind of keto-friendly treats I can take to kind of supplement just eating turkey at her house. But I'm starting to plan it too much, like obsess over it, and so I try to derail my brain. Like yesterday, there's a ballet variation that I want to learn. So to get my brain off of thinking about food, I watched like 10 versions of that variation. I'm trying to figure out which little bits of it I want to do, which version I want to put together for myself. So yeah, just trying to stay distracted. I'm not hungry, like my body isn't hungry. It's just all up here. And I've talked about this a bunch. Like, fasting and food is all right here between your ears. and you're like, the rest is just the, you know. And your hormones are really powerful, and your gut is really powerful, and it can talk to this, but this ultimately is in charge. Your brain is ultimately in charge, and that's where the big battles are fought and won. So anyway, feeling really good today. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks, which is awesome. That'll be the second time that I've gone the longest I've ever gone. And like, my schedule is just really consistent and staying really light. I would love to see how much further I can go. I would love to make it all the way to that dinner on the 23rd. My family's meeting on the 21st. I'm thinking of either breaking then and eating with them, or just taking a big thing of broth and tea and seltzer water to have at that meal, so that I have something that I can kind of sip on in my mouth. And I do need to do something before I eat big on the 23rd. I need to have a little bit of broth, and then maybe a little bit of like raw beef or raw bacon or raw eggs, like the day before a little bit, maybe, just to kind of wake stuff up. We'll see. I don't want to plan it yet, because I don't want to obsess over food, obviously. But as I get closer, I do need to come up with a plan. So I'll kind of be thinking about that in the back of my brain, but not too much until we get closer. Okay, I hope everybody has a really good day. And if you are headed to a Christmas party today, happy feasting. And if you are working on some kind of goal for your health, happy fasting.